In this video, I'm going to show you a method that could 10x your organic traffic on Google. It's free, it's simple, and it only takes a few minutes to put into practice. And this isn't theory, I've used it with real clients and the results are dramatic. Rankings shot up within weeks and they even captured featured snippets. I call it the low-hanging fruit content refresh. Before we get into it, my name is Adom and I work on behalf of Awkward Media, and for over 10 years, I've been helping brands grow traffic, sales, and leads using SEO. If that is at all relevant to you, make sure you subscribe and like the video to stay up to date with everything we do over here. Now, before we get into the low-hanging fruit method, I just want to clarify that this is primarily for keywords that are in the 5 to 15 range, which means we'll be taking keywords that are already performing relatively well and making some small changes to get them into a higher ranking. This is not for brand new keywords, this is a content refresh strategy. So with that being said, let's get right into it. What is this method? It comes down to 3 simple steps. First, identify the keywords where your site is already ranking between positions 5 and 15. Admittedly, this is not everyone. If you are a brand new site, you will not even remotely be in such a high ranking. This is if you have some amount of history doing SEO and getting ranked on Google. Again, the content refresh strategy. So again, between positions 5 and 15. Second, choose the keyword you want to target. And then third, add that keyword into 3 critical parts of your page. We call these the 3 kings: the title, the heading, and the first sentence or paragraph of your copy. These are the signals that Google relies on the most to determine what your page is all about. If you want proof that this works, just look at how the big brands do it. Take Investopedia, for example. Search "what is the stock market?" and they own the top spot. The keyword shows up in their URL, in their title tag, and in their H1. Then right at the top of the page, they deliver a straight definition. No long intro, clarity. And that clarity is exactly what keeps them ranking first. Another example is Wix. If you type in "how to design a logo," they are number 1. Same pattern, the keyword is in the URL, the title, the H1, and right in the opening lines of their content. This isn't luck, it's a deliberate optimization of the 3 kings. Now, does adding a keyword into these spots guarantee rankings? Obviously not. But if you leave them out, you're sending mixed signals to Google and leaving a lot of clicks on the table. I saw this firsthand with a client in the B2B SaaS space. Their site had been around for years, but the content was under-optimized, to say the least. They ranked between positions 8 and 12 for dozens of valuable queries, but nothing cracked the top 5. We went through and optimized just the 3 kings for every page, and within a month, their impressions nearly doubled, and by the end of the second month, several of the pages were ranking in the top 3, and 2 had pulled in featured snippets. And that simple thing was enough to unlock massive new traffic without writing a single new article. So let's just walk through this right now. First off, we're going to need to go to Google Search Console, and I'm going to be using my own site. I have a small site where I share my thoughts on how to get better performing YouTube videos, so we'll use this as an example. I'll be refreshing an article on making better YouTube videos. So once we're in Google Search Console, what we're going to do is we go to search results under performance. Make sure this average position box is ticked, and this is going to tell us our average position for each keyword in the page. We scroll down here and we're going to want to click this upside down pyramid, and we're going to click position. Once we have set up a filter for position, we're going to click this drop down and we're going to say greater than, and we're going to type 4.9. And there's a reason for 4.9 specifically, right? So here we look at this chart that we're seeing on screen, and it is a chart of click-through rate based on position in Google. So obviously first position is going to be the most valuable. 45.8% is what we have for spot number 1, and then a pretty steep drop off to number 2, right? Even more so for 3 and 4, drop off for 5, right? All the way down here. And then anything below that, it pretty much just completely flattens out. So just to think about this for a second, if we had a page in the 5 to 15 range and we were able to get it, say, from 10 to 5, that would be fairly substantial. And then if we were to get a page from number 10 or 11 to 2 or even 1, that would be exponential amount of growth for clicks, right? It goes without saying how powerful that would be for you and your business and your page, whatever it is. So again, keep in mind, this is the content refresh strategy. So the reason we went to 4.9 is because anything between the 5 to 15-ish range, if anything in that range, if we could get it up higher, that would be very big. And the way that we want to do this is not by completely redoing things, but just by slightly optimizing some keywords and seeing where we can get, again, the low-hanging fruit. So let's walk through this right now. As you can see, I have my filter set up and I'm going to scroll down until I see something that looks good, and we'll go with this one, how to make a better YouTube video. And then we're on to step 2, in which we will select our target keyword. If you click the keyword in Google Search Console, it will reveal the page that all of these queries are leading to. And then if we click the page and we go over here and we disable this query filter, we can then go down and we can see all the queries that people are searching for to get to this page. So what's the reason for doing this? Well, this is an excellent way to get target keywords. We're going straight through Google Console, so there's no question as far as the clicks and impressions that we're going for. Right, we're doing it straight from the source. We do want to keep in mind that this is not as simple as just going for the keyword that has the highest clicks and impressions. We want to find something that makes sense with the page that we are going to be optimizing. All right, so if the target keyword doesn't fully communicate what is on the page, then it's not going to make sense and the conversions will not work. Now, in this case, things are pretty straightforward. We're deciding to go with average view duration. Now, this does encapsulate what is on the page that we're doing, right? Average view duration is a YouTube metric that is very related to having a successful video. It's a major YouTube metric, and we can definitely use this keyword to add it into our page that we want to optimize and try to get more traffic for. And also AVD does have the highest clicks and impressions, so it's an even better fit. So this is my target keyword, average view duration. This is what I want to tweak this page to rank for. So now if I go back over the pages tab and then I click this button here to open this page in a new tab, I can see that I'm not optimized for my 3 kings. My title tag, my H1, doesn't have average view duration in it. Neither does my opening paragraph, which is obvious, right? We're trying to redo this based on another optimized keyword, so that's why it's not there. So we're simply going to update it. Again, the old keyword and this new keyword we're doing, they're very similar in relevance, so editing it will be pretty straightforward. I'm just going to click edit post, and I'm literally going to change this here and make it something more related to average view duration so that I can put that specifically where I want it to be. Then I'm just going to click save. And yep, that took me all of 20 to 30 seconds. So obviously you can see how powerful this could be if you're, again, looking for low-hanging fruit. You find a page that is bringing traffic for, and then you simply optimize it for that specific keyword, and then see if we can get even more traffic towards the specific page. Now, this is usually the first thing that we'll do with a client, matching high-performing keywords to specific pages and sort of reverse engineering it in that way. And we would hope to see some immediate traffic gains just by doing this across different pages. Now, once I've made the changes, I'm just going to go back, copy the URL, come back to Google Search Console, click URL inspection, and I'm going to inspect this URL. And the reason I'm doing this is because while Google does crawl automatically, I just don't really want to wait for it to do it automatically. I just want to do it manually, have it happen right now, and not wait till whenever the next point in their schedule is, even if that might be fairly often, right? Just manually just get it out the way, right? So I'm going to request indexing. So yeah, Google's now recrawling the site and it's going to be automatically updating now. So again, relating to the 4.9 and why we did that, we want to do a similar thing for all pages that we have that are within that 5 to 15-ish range. And we want to see if we can make some small changes and match some high performing keywords, optimize the pages for them, and get some new traffic without making a single new piece of content, right? Simply just optimizing the 3 kings once again. And then we would want to come back in a week or two and we would hopefully notice a bump in traffic simply from doing this. Now, as a disclaimer, obviously we can see that the keyword that we used and the page that we used it on, they were very matched, right? It was pretty one-to-one. Making a better YouTube video, average view duration, there's a lot of similarities in what the search would be. That might not always be the case with a page that you're trying to do. It might not be so clear what keyword to use and if it will affect positively the connection between the keyword and the page that they're leading to. So if you come back after doing these type of changes and you don't see the spike, then that might just mean that fundamentally your page might need a full content refresh, whereas this is more of a low-hanging fruit content refresh. Just wanted to break that down and give you an idea of the reason that we're doing this. Anyway, it'll be up to you to come back in 2 weeks. And then if it's not working the way you want it to, then you would have to, on your own, go back to the drawing board and fundamentally redo some of your content, which is a completely separate topic that we might get into in the next video. So yeah, back to the rest of the video. But sometimes you'll need to go even deeper. If the results don't improve after a couple of weeks, it may mean that the page does not match the search intent or it isn't strong enough. For example, if someone searches integrated development environment, the top results explain what an IDE is. But if your page is trying to sell software instead, it won't match that intent and it will not rank. In that case, you either rebuild to fit the intent or you go after a different keyword. Another layer is making sure your content is competitive in quality. Study the top 3 results, look at their word count, the way they use visuals, their subheadings, and even whether they include expert quotes. If their content is 2,000 words long with charts and images, and yours is 800 words of plain text, you'll need to upgrade. The goal is to confirm that your page is at least as thorough, as useful, as engaging as the best results on page 1. Now, a tool I rely on daily for this is Surfer SEO. It compares your content to competitors and it shows you exactly what's missing. For example, when I analyzed this page, Surfer flagged that all the top ranking pages use the phrase click-through rate, but my article did not. That is a massive clue. Adding relevant terms into your content naturally will show Google that your page is more complete. Surfer also suggests word count, image count, and other optimization based on real data. It saves me hours of analysis and gives my clients a clear roadmap. Not sponsored, it just works very well. Now, if you've optimized your 3 kings, aligned with search intent, and strengthened your content and you're still not ranking, the missing piece might actually just be backlinks. Backlinks might be seen as cliche, but they are still one of the strongest building blocks that you can integrate. And building them is the next step once your on-page optimization is dialed in. But backlinks are a big separate topic, so make sure to subscribe if you want to see that video when we go in depth on it in the future. But for now, thanks for watching. Try a couple of these basic techniques. Again, they are to refresh your content strategy, so you already have to be ranking somewhere relatively high up on Google, otherwise this will be irrelevant to you. But if you already are, make sure to try some of them out. And of course, if you want some more in-depth details about ranking higher on Google and just general search engine mastery, make sure to check out awkward-media.com and hit us up for a free consultation if you are a business that needs some SEO help. Again, like and subscribe, leave a comment if you found any of this relevant. Also, make sure to check out this playlist we have a couple documentaries where we go in depth about some of the best marketing strategies that we've seen over the last decade. My name is Adom on behalf of Awkward Media. I'll see you in the next one.